Hi. Tell me all about this thing to catch water off your roof, which flushes your toilet. Do you mean the RAINSTORE? It is great, it just sits in your roof and catches water before it goes into the gutter. It's very simple and works just by gravity. It is excellent. Look at this drawing to see how simple it is. John wanted to put a great big water tank under the patio in the back garden. And pump and stuff in the garage. It was going to cost a fortune. At first I thought it was a joke. I said, how will this help the carbon footprint he is always going on about? Then he found the RAINSTORE, nice and simple, you must get it. They also do a sort of fat drain pipe that stores water. We might have that fitted as well. Every little helps, doesn't it?
RAINSTORE is the greatest invention ever, to conserve and capture rainwater from your roof. This water is to flush your toilets, but it can be used in washing machines and outside taps, but not for drinking unless purified first. This capture and storage of rainwater will help to stop the runoff and flooding. The RAINSTORE equipment operates by gravity only, so very eco-friendly. It will save the use of purified drinking water being wasted to flush your toilets. Every flush on average is some 8 liters of drinking water. It is also a very expensive process to make water from the drain system drinkable. The purification process of water is extensive, with a substantial carbon footprint to create and deliver water back to your taps. The Office for National Statistics UK states that 1.8 million people live in areas which are at significant risk of flooding, and the average daily water consumption per person across the UK is around 140 litres, which is above the sustainable level in a changing climate. This UK level is also higher than many other European countries. Cost-effective adaptation measures to preserve water are not being implemented at anywhere near the levels they can, or should be. Terry Nash of the UK Rain Harvesting Association said, "It is a nonsense for water to fall on your roof and then, at some trouble, cost and complexity, to ship it off to a treatment plant where it's brought up to drinking standard and then brought all the way back so you can flush your toilet or water the garden." He says, "Where you have the water, it's better to keep it and use it." The RAINSTORE technology is the future of water conservation, so let's help save money and the planet. This aquastore presentation does not illustrate sensitive production methods or the names of suppliers and companies that Aquastore Limited is in discussions with. This presentation is to outline the concepts of our products for sophisticated investors. Our exit strategy is either to list on the stock exchange or by sale of the company. The RAINSTORE is a long horizontal vessel with restricted dimensions, which is designed to store rainwater in its engineered waterproof body. The RAINSTORE body varies in length and dimensions and is designed to be installed into the roof void at the eaves of built structures resting on the roof joist and the external wall where load is compensated for, if required. It is designed and manufactured to receive rainwater along its complete length. Water enters at its open side where rainwater flow is deflected by the novel lip, which protrudes above the existing rainwater gutter. The RAINSTORE in its complete operation is driven by gravity. The flow of water into its body is plumbed to flow on demand by gravity to the toilet cisterns in the property. This invention reduces demand from the normal utility water supply and saves the user money and also relieves demand on the water companies. The RAINSTORE can also receive used bath and basin type grey waters. The vertical water store is visually acceptable as it is a substitution of an existing rainwater drain pipe. This invention can be manufactured in many sizes to meet the need of a user. It can be disguised as a natural structure like a tree or take the form of architectural pillars and columns. It can be built into brick or stone piers on the outside of buildings. Water can be diverted at the eaves inside a building into a vertical store where it might be used to assist with the supply of water to a commercial process that does not require purified water. This invention is very flexible in its application. It is easy to fit on new or existing built structures which have rainwater guttering and drain pipes. It can be manufactured and designed to fit the aesthetics of the building or its surrounds. This invention eliminates the problem that the present water harvesting containers like water butts and expensive underground water storage units have, as they take up ground space, and often require extensive excavation, plumbing and mains electricity and pumping. The wall-mounted vertical store in its smallest form can be used as a simple garden water butt using very little ground space if standing in the ground boot. This invention's main function is to feed, by solar-driven pump, rainwater into the eaves store tank in the roof void. These inventions reduce demand from the normal utility water supply and it saves the user money. This use of water at its point of delivery is environmentally sustainable and will relieve demand on the water companies to supply purified water to flush toilets. It will cut the water companies' production costs and carbon footprint. If aquastore's technology is employed in substantial numbers, by fitting it to existing houses and built structures, it will reduce water runoff and assist flood management. Dear investor, we are seeking SEIS startup assistance. We hold 2 patents for a new concept and design for the storage of rainwater in the roof of buildings to assist the inflow of utilities' purified water to flush toilets. Our designs are gravity-fed and discrete, leaving the average house or built structure visibly untouched. We have SCIS and EIS Advanced Assurance agreed with HMRC UK for aquastore Limited. We are seeking a first round of funding of $250,000, SEIS, for a percentage of the company. Initially we are seeking $50,000 for the mobile display. These funds are to secure production premises where a show building can be constructed in the grounds. Also commission a display trailer to use as a mobile display to visit builders and construction companies to promote the products. These products are an environmental necessity for the future of all new build houses, a market of some 30,000 per annum. Fitting our products will gain points for planning applications. The market for the existing housing stock is massive. An opportunity to offer fitting as a saleable franchise. If this opportunity is one of interest to you, please email the company at rainstoreuk@gmail.com or contact@aquastoreltd.com and state investor and leave your email address and we will get back to you as soon as we can. You can visit our company website at www.aquastorelimited.com, where there is a full breakdown of our plans and detailed business plan, also market size and sales forecasts. We are inviting forward-thinking dynamic investors who can see the potential in water conservation and the need for sustainability, investors who are prepared to stand with us to build a high-value company in monetary and ecological terms, a company with the ambition to manage humanity's most valuable resource, water, in a natural way. Senior Surveyor, Wenlock BSc. EMMSc. FEM Surveyors. The following is a statement for investors who seek to mitigate their tax burdens by the strategy offered by HMRC UK under the rules of SEIS and EIS benefits. EIS investments are designed to help SMEs raise finance by offering a range of EIS tax reliefs to investors who purchase new shares in these SMEs. Investors are eligible for the following tax reliefs: 30% EIS tax relief up to £1 million per individual may benefit from 30% income tax relief. For each £100,000 of investment, the actual cost is £70,000. The whole of this allowance can be carried back to the previous tax year to offset against income tax, i.e. a theoretical £2 million could be invested, of which £1 million, the maximum EIS qualifying investment in a single tax year, could be carried back to the last tax year. With increasing rates of tax and restrictions on pensions contributions, this opportunity may be increasingly attractive for tax planning. Shares must be held for a minimum of 3 years from the date they are issued to the investor for this relief to be available. No capital gains tax provided the shares are held for a minimum of 3 years. There is no capital gains tax, CGT, due on the proceeds. However, the shares can be held for much longer to realize the investment potential, thus continuing sheltering gains from CGT and potentially sheltering substantial capital. Inheritance tax, IHT, has been dubbed the optional tax, and many individuals today are exposed to potential IHT bills, largely because of relatively high property prices. However, high earners are potentially more exposed. After 2 years from the investment date, EIS qualifying companies generally fall outside the estate for IHT purposes, potentially allowing considerable assets to be preserved intact for dependents, saving 40% IHT. Loss relief applies in the event a share should become crystallized at a loss. Were a share to be worthless, the loss could be offset against income tax. For a 40% taxpayer, the £70,000 net cost could be offset against that year's tax bill, or the previous tax years, allowing £28,000 to be claimed back, so the actual loss would be £42,000. In other words, 42p in the pound is the maximum exposure, i.e. less than half the original outlay is at risk. For a 45% taxpayer, the same relief mitigates downside exposure to 38.5p in the pound. Losses can also be offset against CGT at the prevailing rate, currently 28% for higher rate taxpayers, in either the current tax year or subsequent tax years. Capital gains tax deferral relief. This is also available in addition to the above and is not capped at £1 million. This allows up to 3-year-old capital gains tax to be rolled over into qualifying EIS investment companies and potentially be further reduced by other tax allowances over a period of time, such as timing disposals in order to utilize annual CGT allowances and inter-spousal transfers to maximize tax efficiency.